Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this third video on our United Nations and its organs series. This series is completely based on UGC NET syllabus, but you may find it helpful even if you are reading United Nations for any other exams. So in two of our previous videos, we discussed about the history of United Nations and we discussed some questions. In our second class, we discussed regarding the main purposes of United Nations, original members of UN, main organs of UN, and this table also we had prepared just to make it easier for us to remember the six main organs and as well as how they differ from one another. Then regarding official languages and again some questions. So every single day we are discussing one portion from this United Nations part, and then we are also discussing related questions as well. So make sure you stick to the very end because today also we are going to do the same process. We will discuss General Assembly and then some related questions or some probable questions. It will give you an idea on what kind of questions you can expect from this part. All right, so in last class, we discussed that there are six principal organs of United Nations, right? General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, Trusteeship Council, ICJ, and UN Secretariat. And all of these are having different functions, different powers, different roles and responsibilities, as well as different members. Right, so we will start one by one regarding all the different organs of United Nations. Today we are going to discuss everything about General Assembly, what is important from exam point of view, what is not important, which articles you should be focusing on, all that we are going to discuss. And after that we have some 8 to 9 questions from this part that also we will try to solve. All right, so let's begin. Regarding General Assembly, we have provisions under Article 9 to 22. So under Articles 9 to 22, whatever provisions are there, these are related to General Assembly. You can refer these articles from the Barracks as well. You get to buy hard copy also of UN Charter. I will put a link regarding that in the description box below, or if you want, you can even download a soft copy. So General Assembly, this part is like a brief on what General Assembly is, what functions it is being assigned, and then we will discuss specific provisions as well. All right, so what is General Assembly? General Assembly is the main deliberative, policy making and representative organ of the United Nations. All 193 member states. In first class only we saw, right, there are 193 members of United Nations, right? Out of 195 countries in total, 2 are not members of UN, but remaining 193 countries are member states of United Nations. So all these 193 member states of UN are represented in General Assembly, making it the only UN body with universal representation. That means all these member countries will be members of General Assembly. But for other organs, we will see few countries are member, then they would have permanent member, non-permanent member and all that stuff. But this is the only organ where we have all the countries as its members. So it is having universal representation, right? All the member countries are members of General Assembly. So it is having universal representation. That means all the countries get to represent in General Assembly, right? Each year in September, the full UN membership as in members of all these 193 countries, representatives of 193 countries, right? They will meet every single year in September. That means they will meet once. It is the annual session. They will meet once in September in General Assembly Hall in New York for annual General Assembly session. Okay, so this is annual General Assembly session. As the name suggests, it will be held every single year in September. And general debate, which many heads of state attend and address. And it will be having general debates where many of them will attend and they will address their matters. Decisions on important questions such as those on peace and security, questions relating to peace and security, admission of new members as member of UN, budgetary matters require two-third majority of General Assembly. Regarding voting also, we have a provision that we are anyways going to discuss in detail. So this part I'll just read it out. All right. So for few matters, they would need two-third majority of General Assembly members voting for it to be approved. But there are certain other questions which would need only simple majority. All right, what is simple majority? What is two-third majority? That also we are going to discuss in detail. General Assembly each year elects a General Assembly president. So there will be a president of General Assembly who will serve 1 year term of office. I saw one question as well that what is the term of office of General Assembly President? So it is 1 year. For 1 year, he will be appointed and he will serve as a General Assembly President. So this is in brief about what kind of provisions are there inside your Article 9 to 22. But whatever articles are important, we are going to discuss those in detail as well. All right. So first important article is composition. It is Article 9. Composition we have already studied in this summary part, right? That it will consist of all members of United Nations. All members as in 193 countries which are members of UN. Okay, so all members means 193 countries. Each member, that means each of the countries, shall have maximum of 5 representatives in the General Assembly. One country may have maximum of 5 representatives, 5 people from their country to represent in the General Assembly. All right, so you can remember this part that all members of UN, that is 193 countries as on date, are members or members of General Assembly, and maximum they can have 5 representatives to represent the country in General Assembly. All right. So Article 9 is very important, which provides for composition. After that, there are many articles that are mentioning regarding functions and powers of United Nations. Okay, these are divided in different articles. If you try to remember them article wise, it would be like a mess and you don't need to know that much in detail also. So I have tried to put the important functions and powers over here. So these are very important powers and functions, and I feel reading this would be enough. All right, if you have time to spare, you can download the BEREC, you can read all the provisions. Okay, but I think it will make it easier for you to remember what are the powers or functions. Why do we have General Assembly? What is its main role? You will understand from here. Okay, after that, you can refer the BEREC also. That time it will become easy. Now, what are the functions and powers? First one is discuss questions on matters within the scope of the charter. Scope of the charter, as in we saw, right? There are four main like functions or purposes why UN is being established, right? So for all matters coming under those 4 main purposes, they may discuss, right? Or any other matter which may be specified there under the charter, they would discuss it. Okay, scope of the charter as in whatever is mentioned in the charter regarding functions of UN or functions of General Assembly to be specific, those questions they will discuss. Second is discuss questions on powers of organs of the UN provided in the charter. The 6 organs which are being provided, right? It will discuss regarding their powers and functions as well. Okay. Provide recommendations to members. That means they will provide some recommendations or suggestions to the 193 countries of United Nations or Security Council. Okay, they can provide recommendations to the member countries, or they can provide recommendations to Security Council as well regarding how a certain thing is to be performed and other stuff. Discuss questions on maintenance of international peace and security. If there is a matter or if there is sort of a dispute or conflict or some important matter is coming up with regard to maintenance of international peace and security. And that matter is brought before General Assembly by a member state, that means any of those 193 countries, or by a non-member state, the remaining two countries, or by United Nations Security Council, right? It can be brought by any of these. They will address such matters also, which is involving a question with regard to maintenance of international peace and security. Call attention of Security Council to situations likely to endanger international peace and security. If if Security Council is not aware with regard to a situation which may endanger international peace and security, that matter also may be brought under attention of Security Council. Right? Security Council may be informed that there is this kind of a matter. Maybe you should pay some attention in fixing that problem. All right. Next one is initiate study and provide recommendation to promote international cooperation. So they can initiate study, they can initiate some research and other stuff. Why? To promote international cooperation with regard to political field, or maybe codification or development of international law, right? With regard to a certain matter, maybe sea law or some other international matters, right? They need better codification, or they need proper development of laws. With regard to that also, recommendations may be provided or studies may be taken up. In economic, social, cultural, educational, and health field, right? So in all these different fields, how we can achieve better international cooperation, regarding that also there may be a study to provide some suggestions, right? So that it can be taken up. Recommend measures for peaceful adjustment of any situation. If there is some kind of a conflicting situation is going on, how can we peacefully adjust that situation, right? So how we can do that, rather than fighting with each other, how we can peacefully settle the matter, come to a compromise, so that neither of the states are in the losing side, right? Both of them can sacrifice some points and they can somehow adjust with the situation. With regard to that also, recommendation may be provided. Receive and consider annual and special report from Security Council. So Security Council is supposed to submit annual reports, and special reports also may be asked for. So whenever those reports are submitted, they will receive it and they would consider it regarding measures taken by them for maintenance of international peace and security, right? So annually, what all measures are being taken by Security Council, regarding that they will submit a report. And if there is any special situation or circumstances regarding which Security Council was asked to take some steps or something, for that also they may ask special report. For both annual and special report, they will receive and consider those reports. Apart from Security Council also, they may receive and consider other reports from other organs as well, okay? Consider and approve budget of the organization. So this is a vital or a very important function of General Assembly, that it also approves the budget of the organization. All right. So there may be a question, which of the organ approves the budget of United Nations? It is nothing but General Assembly. All right. So these functions, right, these are divided in different articles from this 9 to 18, right? You will get all these provisions in a detailed way in the barracks, so you can refer that also after understanding that these are the primary functions what the General Assembly will do. All right. Now, apart from all these functions, first thing we saw is composition. Secondly, we saw functions. Now we have some more other related provisions, right? Regarding voting, we saw one part in the summary provision, right? So it is mentioned under Article 19 with regard to voting. What is mentioned there? There are two different ways of voting that is being mentioned, all right? Each member of General Assembly, again, each member as in each of those 193 countries, each of those members of the General Assembly shall have one vote. That means they can send 5 representatives, right? Maximum of 5 representatives can be sent, but each one would not have one single vote, but the country as a whole will have one vote. Okay, they will have to decide amongst themselves and come to a conclusion ki, okay, fine, we are giving a vote in its favor or against. Okay, so each country, 193 country, each of them will have one single vote. There are two different ways of voting that is being mentioned under the charter. First one is two-third majority, and second one is majority of members. That means one half or more than one half of members. Now, what is two-third majority and majority of members? I will explain that. What is two-third majority? Right, two-thirds majority. Take for example, there are 100 members. Or take for example, there are 100 members. Half majority as in we would generally understand more than 50, right? If 51 is there, it would be majority. If 56 is there, it would be majority, right? Anything more than 50, more than half will be majority. But in two-third majority, it's not more than half, but it is two-third of the total. Okay, take for example, there are 75 members. Majority will be, what is majority here? Majority will be 50 or more, right? More than 50 would be majority. More than 50 would be two-third. But here majority would mean if there are 100 members, it should be 50, 51, 52, anything more than half, right? That would be majority here. But here majority means more than two-thirds of majority, not more than half. Okay, that is the basic difference between these two different types of voting. Why here number of people is more? Why do we need majority of two-thirds? Because these are important matters. All right, so we need approval from like many members, right? Lot many members as compared to this one. So there are few matters which are inserted in this part. What are these? Recommendations regarding maintenance of international peace and security. We saw, right? General Assembly would give recommendation regarding what steps may be taken for maintenance of international peace and security. So all the 193 countries would participate in the annual meeting. They would provide their recommendations. But out of all those recommendations, which one should be picked? Which one would be approved? That depends on voting. Whatever recommendations receive more than two-thirds majorities vote, those recommendations would be finally approved. Right, so with regard to recommendations regarding maintenance of international peace and security, we would need voting of more than two-thirds majority. Election of non-permanent members of Security Council. When we discuss Security Council, we would see there are some permanent and non-permanent members. Okay, so regarding non-permanent members election also, two-thirds majority voting we would need, because permanent members need not be elected, right? They are permanent. So for non-permanent members, it would be there. For election of members of Economic and Social Council, members of Trusteeship Council also, we have two-thirds majority. Basically, with regard to elections, we need two-thirds majority. Admission of new states. 193 states are already there. If a new state wants to become a part, right? Admission of new state, regarding that also, it will decide. Suspension of rights and privileges of members. If a member country has not followed the obligations or has acted otherwise than mentioned in the charter, right? They have done something wrong. In such cases, is it that we are going to suspend some of their rights or privileges or something? Those also would be decided by voting of two-thirds majority. Expulsion of members. Is it that some member country has done something wrong, they should be expelled? That also will be decided by them. Questions relating to operations of trusteeship council, trusteeship system, whether this trusteeship system or trusteeship council should be functioning or not. Regarding that also, we would need two-thirds majority voting. Budgetary questions regarding how much would be the budget and all those matters also, we will need 2/3 majority. So if you look at all of these points, right, these are basically like important matters where we would need approval from many states, right? More than half. It is like 2/3 majority. We would need approval. Only in such a case it would be passed. Now, there is another way of voting, which is votes by majority of members present and voting is needed. That means how many members out of 193, how many are present and how many are voting. All right. If, take for example, one country was guilty of doing something and a right is suspended, that means their right to give vote in the General Assembly annual meeting is being suspended. That means that country may be present, but it is not voting, right? Or there may be a country which could not make it to the annual meeting. So those would be excluded. Other than that, how many members are present and how many are voting out of them, right? Of this number, we would need majority. That means more than half of them should agree to it. Regarding what we need this majority to include additional categories of questions to be decided by 2/3 majority. So we already have all these different categories for which we would need 2/3 majorities vote. But if there are any other grounds, any other questions or areas to be inserted here, regarding that we would need majority of members present and voting, right? They only can give vote and include new categories over here. For any other question, that means any other question except for all of these grounds, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Except for these 9 grounds, if there are any more questions, those would need votes of majority of members present and voting. All right. So this would not mean 193 universally. There may be a country which was not present. There may be a country whose voting right was suspended. So those countries would be excluded. From the remaining number, we would need majorities vote. Okay, so this provision is with regard to voting. Next, there is one more provision, procedure. So this is regarding the meetings, right? General Assembly shall meet in regular annual sessions and in such special sessions as the occasion may require. We have already seen in that summary part as well that General Assembly will have its regular annual sessions in September. Apart from that, if it is needed, they may have a special session also to address some important matter. So this is mentioned under Article 20. Next one is Article 21 regarding appointment of president. So there will be a president who will be appointed. General Assembly shall appoint its own rules of procedure. It shall elect a president for each session. For 1 year, that president will function. All right. So there can be a question: what is the duration term of office for president of General Assembly? It is 1 year. And the last provision which we have is regarding subsidiary organs. So in this previous article, right, we saw that there are so many functions, powers and functions that General Assembly is having. General Assembly is having so many responsibilities. So it may need some subsidiary organs, right, for performance of its functions. General Assembly may establish subsidiary organs for performance of its functions if it is needed. What are subsidiary organs? Subsidiary as in it is coming under the General Assembly. General Assembly will form those organs and then give them accordingly tasks and all they would be provided. These subsidiary organs may be in different forms like boards, board of auditors, trade and development board. There may be commissions, okay, like International Law Commission. There may be committees, which may be regular committees, ad hoc committees, advisory committees. Okay, regular committee as in this will be in existence forever unless and until it is suspended or something. Ad hoc committee as in it is established for a certain duration for a specific purpose. Once the purpose is done, it will end. Like we have ad hoc committee we have one ad hoc committee on Indian Ocean. So once the matter is being settled with regard to whatever dispute is going on, this particular committee will no more function because it is an ad hoc committee. Then there may be an advisory committee, like independent audit advisory committee. So this committee will only give advisory opinion to the General Assembly, right? So there can be different committees as well. There can be councils and panels. There can be working groups and others, right? Others as in some tribunals and all, some units might be there. That means General Assembly is having this power that it can establish some subsidiary organs for performance of its functions. If it feels that they need some extra help, they can do that. And these subsidiary organs may be in different forms like boards, commissions, committees, councils and panels, working groups and others. All right, so it's not important. They would not ask you questions from these parts. This is only for your understanding. I have mentioned it's not even there in the charter. I have just visited the website, and then from there I have just inserted these details for your reference only. These are not important from exam point of view, but you can simply know that it can appoint some subsidiary organs as well. All right, so this part is with regard to General Assembly, like whatever I felt is important from that part, this is only that much. All right, so we are going to see some questions now from the part General Assembly. Okay. So first question is, which of the following is not main organ of United Nations? Yesterday also we saw, today also we saw that there are 6 main organs of United Nations. So which one of these is not a main organ of United Nations? International Court of Justice, Economic and Social Council, Secretariat, International Monetary Fund. So we know that IMF is not a main organ of United Nations. It is not there in those 6 main organs of United Nations. Next question is, General Assembly of United Nations meets in a regular session. What is the duration of regular session? It is once a year, right? What is the interval? It's once a year. First option is correct, and occasionally it would meet for its special sessions, right? Not for regular session. Next one is, under whose recommendation the United Nations General Assembly suspends the UN membership. So who is it who can provide recommendation with regard to suspension to General Assembly? So which one is correct? It is option C. When we discuss Security Council, that time we will get detailed provision as well, but it is Security Council who will give that recommendation. Next is, General Assembly of United Nations was designated 1992 as. Now General Assembly will designate each year as something. All right, so that you need to understand which of these options are correct. International Child Year, is it designated as International Child Year? Is it designated as International Space Year? International Year of the Family, International Year of Literacy? So which one of these options are correct? It is option B, International Space Year. Okay, so because there was this question, it also becomes very important. In whichever year you are reading about United Nations, right? Is it 2021? Is it 22, 23? Whatever year it is, for whichever year you are preparing for the exam, right? You can remember what is it that United Nations has designated that year as. Okay, if you are preparing for NET 2021, you are going to appear for 2021. Maybe rather than knowing about what 1992 was, what is relevant for you is what is 2021 designated as, right? So that part you need to remember basically. Now next question is, in 2019 at the 74th session of UN General Assembly, 2021 was declared as. This is the question that I framed after seeing this question. So it is the first option, International Year of Creative Economy for Sustainable Development. So rather than remembering this one, this becomes more relevant. And if you are preparing for NET 2022, maybe you can wait for what is it that UN General Assembly will declare 2022 as, right? That part becomes important. Next question is, the dash is called the Parliament of Mankind. So it is General Assembly because it also does function similar to Parliament only, like giving, like pass. So it also has same kind of function only, like approving budget, rules, regulations, everything it will done. So it is called as Parliament of Mankind. The total number of members in General Assembly is, we already know as of now it is 193 because all member countries are members of General Assembly, right? So it is 193. Each member state can have maximum of 5 representatives there, but as a country they will have only one single vote. They will not have 5 votes or 4 votes depending on number of representatives. The General Assembly President serves the office for, so his office duration or term of office is 1 year, right? So these were some questions from General Assembly part. I hope this part is clear. So you can let me know in the comment section below if you have any doubts or concerns or whether this part was helpful or not. Tomorrow we will continue with the remaining organs. Mostly we will do Security Council tomorrow. Same process, we will discuss in a summary what Security Council it is, then the important articles from there, and then we will see some relevant questions as well. It will give you clarity on what kind of questions you may expect for NET, right? So that same process we are going to repeat for all the remaining parts, and we will complete United Nations. Then one day complete, we will discuss the questions only, MCQs, and one more revision class. So like that, we are going to end United Nations. Okay, so fine then, we'll see you tomorrow with another part of United Nations. I hope you found this video helpful. In case you did, make sure to like this video and subscribe to channel. Also, you can share this video with your friends whom you may think this video will be helpful, right? So fine then, bye-bye.